After the new signing of the CBA and the NWSL this year, we said goodbye to the college draft. So we didn't even know it, but last year was the final draft. So the 2024 class brought in some absolutely incredible rookies. And we're just going to give them some love talking about this final draft and reassessing this class. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's pretty safe to say that Washington midfielder Croy Bethune is the likely leading candidate for Rookie of the Year in the NWSL this year. She broke the record single season assists at 10. She only played 17 matches before getting injured. She was the third draft pick out of Georgia going to Washington. Is this the clear candidate, Darian? Is this who most people are probably going to go for?
I think before Olympics, we were saying, oh yeah, Rookie of the Year, Croy Bethune, without a doubt. Even maybe fourth game in for the Washington Spirit, seeing what she can do, how dynamic she is on the pitch. I mean, she's similar to a Rose Lavelle to me, that regardless of what team she's on, she would have a massive effect. She can change the tone of the game, the style that your team plays, because of how fluid and almost poetic she plays on the pitch. So 100% Rookie of the Year, without a shadow of a doubt. I cannot wait till she's healthy next year, because that girl's going to come back with vengeance.
Perfect time for us to tease that Sandra and I spoke with Croy Bethune yesterday. Go listen, watch that interview on Attacking Third YouTube and as a podcast. She is such a sweetheart. She is such a sweetheart. Croy, we are rooting for you. Our producer is going to drop the link to that interview in the chat if you're live with us on YouTube. Sandra, every year NWSL has Rookie of the Year candidates that people get to vote on, but they only have 3 candidates. How many candidates would you like to see specifically this year with the 2024 rookie class?
5. Count them 5. I want to see at least 5 finalists. That's not always the case. We get to see that, I believe, for MVP or Defender of the Year. I would love to see that expanded in this category, especially with the trends that we have seen over the last couple of seasons. The rookie classes that have come into NWSL have been incredible. And here we are, another consecutive year, talking about how there are, in fact, so many incredible talents. I think Darian's 100% correct. I think you and I feel the same way when it comes to Croy Bethune. And it sort of just feels like this record-setting Rookie of the Year season that she had means that she's a likely candidate for this individual award. But I do wonder if maybe in like an offset year or in another universe that there's not more chatter for someone like Claire Hutton. I think that she has had an incredible rookie season. She has become absolutely essential for Kansas City Current. I love that she sort of plays with she doesn't look like a rookie when she's out there. She never looks panicked. She brings this sort of calmness on the ball energy week in, week out. For me, it gives a lot of like vintage 2015 Danny Colaprico Chicago Red Stars energy. Like, it's someone who's out there in a role that you need to sort of have and show that kind of leadership on and off the ball. And yet you're doing it in your rookie season. So it's incredible to have seen and witnessed her just kind of really step up to the plate and not be intimidated by anybody or by any moment at this point in the season. So I really like what she's been bringing, but I think there's arguments for so many players across different teams and the impacts that they've had. I mean, I talked about how Hirschfeld for the Spirit and going into their postseason. I mean, McKenna Morris is a player that has been stepping up for the Spirit in light of all of their injuries that they've had. So the list goes on and on and on, because I know there's a ton of rookies here that I'm sure folks will want to give some love to from on their own respective clubs.
Absolutely. The Rookie of the Year candidates are always the ones that rise to the top, oftentimes higher draft picks as well that went earlier in the draft. But Dee, when you think about the rookie class as a whole, this huge chunk of players that were very talented this year, outside of the top 5-6 candidates for Rookie of the Years, which maybe undercover or unnoticed rookies helped impact their individual clubs that they competed with this year?
For me, it's definitely got to be Madison Curry. She's a player that didn't go high in the draft. She was in the 4th round, the 51st pick. Woo. And this just shows the draft is dumb. It means nothing. You can get drafted in the top 10 and not play a minute, not get very limited time for the team you're on. It all depends on where you go, what the team's needs are. Does the coach favor you, your style of play? Is this just going to be a year where you have to learn under the starting whatever position, whoever's in front of you? So I'm glad we're getting rid of it. Madison Curry, I think, is a great example of this because going to Angel City, she came in and has filled in so many different roles in the midfield, on the front line, in the back line, then made a name for herself as an outside back and a center back at times whenever they've needed her. And in my opinion, she's probably been the most constant, supporting, and consistent defender for Angel City next to Sarah Gordon.
And out there.
Big shouts. I love Madison Curry. I can't wait to see her game evolve because I think she can even give more in the attack. But for her to be drafted that low is such a shame on other teams for not picking her up. And I think Angel City have a player that they can really develop around and be a leader for the team in the coming years.
I love that shout for Madison Curry. She played at Princeton, and I got to call her games a lot collegiately. To step in so seamlessly in just the third game when she probably wasn't going to play that much behind someone like an M.A. Vignola and absolutely rise to the occasion. It was fun to watch Curry this year. Emma Sears, she was a second-round draft pick, the forward at Racing Louisville, pick number 28 for Bev Yanez. She had an excellent season that even earned her a senior U.S. women's national team call-up, cap, goal, and assist in her first game. But prior to all the call-ups and everything, Sears did such a good job this year at Racing Louisville of developing and advancing their attacking play and giving multiple dimensions to how Louisville could attack and hurt you and score goals because she was quick. She was also physical. Her hold-up play, her ability to combine, she could turn defenders, shoot from distance, on breakaways. She has so many skill sets in her back pocket for Sears that made her really fun to watch. Some other players that actually weren't in the draft, but rookies this year that I want to give a shout out to, Kennedy Fuller, a U17 Youth International with Angel City. She was very influential under Becky Tweed this year, playing a lot of different roles in the midfield, helping to keep possession, stepping up in times when Angel City needed players. They needed depth and they needed healthy bodies. There are a lot of young guns in the NWSL this year when you think of Kimi Ascanio at San Diego, Emery Adamas, also on the West Coast U20 with Seattle Reign. All of these players had different moments where they competed and they looked really good with their teams. This rookie class, maybe one of the better ones that we've seen as a whole in the NWSL over the last several seasons in terms of not a lot of difference from first pick to players that even weren't drafted and just picked up or youth players.
We didn't even talk about Ali Sentinor as well.
I know.
So many.
She's a Rookie of the Year candidate, though. Would you say?
I guess we'll find out. The votes are rolling in. We'll find out.
Roy's got it.
I like that. Stay tuned, Sandra. Sounds like your tweets are going to be giving us updates on Rookie of the Year. Follow her. She's got Sandra bombs coming everywhere.